All right, good afternoon, everybody, and thanks again for being here, and those who are listening in. I've been keeping count on the first 100 days, so this is day 16 being governor, and this is the third COVID briefing as governor, so I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Again, thank you very much to Dr. Alexander Scott and Commerce Secretary Stephen Pryor, Executive Director, and Tom McCarthy, Executive Director of the state's COVID response. You'll be hearing from all of us today. A few notes. Last week, I think very important, President Biden set a goal of making every adult eligible to receive COVID-19 vaccine by May 1st. I want to say it again, that if Rhode Island can get the vaccine supply we need, we can achieve and beat this goal. And we are confident that the President will deliver. This is why our team is focused on increasing the state's vaccination capacity. Right now we have the capacity to administer 100,000 doses per week, and that's going to grow, and Tom McCarthy will outline how the growth is going to happen. This week we received 47,000 doses and had 62,000 appointments. But the good news is that we've received this week information from the federal government that about increases in vaccine allocation for all states, including Rhode Island. This information allows us to announce that on April 19th, Rhode Island plans to open up vaccination eligibility to all adults age 16 and over. A similar announcement was made yesterday in Massachusetts with a specific note about what people should expect in terms of booking an appointment. I think it's important that Rhode Islanders know that when we open up eligibility on the 19th, that does not mean everyone will receive a vaccination on the 20th. It'll likely take a few weeks for individuals to get their appointment, but we ask them to continue to do what everybody's doing right now, including my family. My wife, Susan, took 2 or 3 attempts, but within 10 days we were taking a vaccination, and next week I take my second vaccine dose on March 23rd. Tom will walk us through the process of what our vaccination supply numbers look like. Today, Dr. Alexander Scott and I will be sending a letter to the White House requesting an additional allocation of 50,000 vaccines per week for Rhode Island to help us meet the President's goal of getting a first dose to every Rhode Islander by the end of May. I cannot stress enough, when the supply increases, Rhode Island must be prepared to hit the ground running. It's all about building the capacity, and that's our main goal and focus right now. We'll be building capacity up to as much as 150,000 shots a week. Next, we have a few announcements of Rhode Island's reopening. This is repetitive from last week, but it's good news that today, March 19th, we start enforcing and putting these conditions in place. So indoor dining, catered events, and houses of worship will increase to 75%. Retail gyms and person care businesses will have an increase in their square footage restrictions. Office venues and assemblies and funeral homes can operate at 50% capacity. And finally, social gatherings can be up to 15 people indoors and 15 people outdoors. This incremental relief begins to put Rhode Island in line with our neighboring states. At the same time, I want to remind Rhode Islanders that we need to continue to be disciplined in the way that we follow the protocols so we can have a reopening that's safe and reopening our schools that are safe as well. So having that discipline, and I was talking to a business owner earlier today, and they're getting anxious, but we need to make sure that we deliver this message that this discipline at this moment in time is in all our best interest, and the quicker we are able to get to these vaccinations safely, the sooner we're going to be able to open up our businesses and open our schools. So let's continue wearing the mask, let's continue the social distancing, wash your hands, and follow the guidelines and the protocols that have been put in place for months. We're all very familiar with that. So we also will be making an effort to that Rhode Islanders, as they become eligible, they will be able to sign up for the shots, and we'll be talking about that in next week and setting up a strategy where we can advance registration. But today, the announcement is April 19th, that all people are going to be eligible to make an appointment. Final topic is our planning around indoor, larger outdoor events for the summer. We want to provide some clarity and certainty. We know that outdoor events right now, they take several weeks to do the planning, and so we're trying to get ahead of the summer schedule by starting to open up for business and organizations that are looking to host an outdoor event with more than 500 people. There'll be approval requests for such events. Can be sent to the Department of Business Regulation for review. This is all done online through DBR website. Secretary Pryor will go into more details about if you're hosting an event this summer, how to proceed so that we can walk your way through that safely. Give an example, we're working closely with the Newport Folk and Jazz Festival on a plan that could allow them to host a safe event this summer that involves testing and other safety protocols. But the good news, there'll be music in Newport this summer. It's not going to look exactly like the other festivals, but we're going to do everything we can to make sure that it's a successful event, and we want to make sure that events like the Newport Jazz Festival are in a position to continue that unbelievable work for the state of Rhode Island and traditions that they represent. I'll wrap up by the same way that the last few weeks, by highlighting to all those who are watching our team's approach to vaccination. It's all about getting vaccines out of inventory and into arms, increasing capacity so when vaccine supplies increases, we are prepared, supporting our communities as we merge municipal vaccine sites into strategic regional sites, and Tom will talk more about that when he makes his comments. We're going to be opening additional state sites as well and working on a strategy to combat vaccine hesitancy in our communities, which we're going to be really emphasizing considerably over the next few weeks in terms of making people know that they're safe, and it also keeps them from getting into the hospital. And we don't want any more families that have to suffer through what other families have suffered through over the last 10 months in terms of any level of death. Right? That's something we don't want to see. And that's why I continue to reinforce the importance for discipline right now in the way that we're doing things. And we'll be incrementally creating incremental flexibility as quickly as we can. As you can see that we're rolling it out now.